Hi Suryakant, how are you?
Hi Rakesh, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So can you
Yeah.
please turn on your video?
So actually, I'm facing some technical issue with my PC, so I won't be able to on the video, but we can share the screen and discuss.
Okay, no worries, no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you like to tell us about the interview experiences so far that you have faced?
Yeah. So I had faced three companies, so we'll go one by one. Okay. So first will be with a company name is a Coforge. Okay. Uh, so if I have written the spelling correctly,
Yeah.
so that was my
Sorry to
first.
interrupt. Is it possible for
Yeah.
you to increase the font size?
Yeah. Sure. So mm, now can you
Yeah,
see?
yeah. This is fine.
Yeah. So questions so we started with the mm, started with the questions. Basically, it was for the position was for the I'll just write position name also. It was for the uh, senior senior SDET. Okay.
So how many years of experience you have?
So I have around 8 years of experience. Okay,
Oh,
so it was for a senior estate, and it was basically for automation profile. So like first question was asked was to find the second highest number from the array. Okay, second highest number from array. Then this just a minute. Let
is
me
it
try this.
possible you can just select Control A and increase the font size, then automatically the upcoming fonts will be displayed accordingly. Yeah.
This is a browser. It has not increased. Okay. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, fine.
Okay, fine. So this was the first question with respect to coding. Was the second high. The question was to find the second highest. Sorry, find second highest number in array.
Mhm.
So any you can take any random array, and the question was to find the second highest number in array. So next question was basically a discussion around API testing. So was question was asked like how you parse the complex how you parse the complex JSON. So,
Mm.
so do I have to write the logic over here, or like this
Uh,
question is sufficient?
no, that's fine. Only question is fine. Or you can write the logic in a very, crisp format so that the people can also understand.
Yeah, so it is a very simple question. So we have to find the second highest number from array. So there are different approach, but one approach like which does with OOP complexity. So we can maintain two variable in first max and second max. Uh, mm, you can maintain two variable first max, second max, and just iterate over the loop. So if you just iterate over the loop for any array, that so let us say you have an array initialized with that name is array A. So you can just iterate over the array and just check if that current A of array is greater than first max, and just swap this thing. So if your A of I is greater than the first max, so what you can do is just do the swapping condition, assign the A of I to the first max. Mm. And then you say your second max will become the first max. My typing speed is not good, sorry for that.
No, that is absolutely fine. Actually, you are explaining and you are typing as well.
Yeah, so you assign the second, now your second max will become the first max, so that way you get the first max. This is in the if loop. If and then else you can say uh, uh, else if you can get the second number in the else if box if a of I is greater than your second max.
Correct.
Okay. But it should not be equal to the first max because we don't want the first max. So a of I is not equal to the first max. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you just say my second max, second max max will be my a of I, and that way you get the first max and second max, so you can just print the second max. Okay, so this was the answer which I gave. So yeah, this is a very simple logic. So you know, O of n is in a single loop, you can find the both first max and second max. Okay, so this is how the question was. The second question was like take any random complex JSON and what are the different way you can parse it. So yeah, so we can parse it in JSON dot simple dot JSON. We have a different utility like libraries in Java which we can use. So basically, parsing is nothing but serialization and deserialization. How you can achieve. So for that, like I'll just take any random example. So if I take, are you able to see my screen, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So if you have a complex JSON, so if you let us say you have this and this JSON, okay. Let's take yeah. So let's take this example of JSON. So if you have this JSON, now question was how you will parse it, right? So let us say this is a JSON array. Inside this JSON array, you have another JSON array, and another inside the JSON array you have a JSON object. You have another JSON array, and inside that JSON array you have so many JSON objects, right? So your goal is to get this JSON array. Inside the JSON array, you want to, if you have this ID 1001, so what is the type of that particular batter, where is a regular chocolate? So how you going to parse, or how you going to get reach up to this node? So for that I couldn't answer properly. I mean, I was knowing the concept, but I was not knowing the syntax. Later I saw how it is like you have a simple.json, some so you can just download that jar. And what you can do, you can just take this JSON in the string, and you have something called as a JSON object. Okay, so you create the JSON object and object of this, and you just pass on this string. And just pass this string which you have taken. Take this entire string, this JSON as this thing, and then you can say whatever array you, so you want to get this JSON array, right? Batter. So you just say JSON array. This is one way to get JSON array. JSON array is equal to this. Now already you got this entire JSON object. So when you say JSON object, this is a JSON object. So when I say JSON object, so it already has got a reference to the entire this thing. So you can say JSON object, this object, the one which you created here. So you take the JSON object, say get JSON array. So this will give you a JSON array. Is you have this method get JSON array, and just pass the array name. So what you want to get? You want to get this batter array. So you just go and take the batter array, pass here. Single double inverted comma want to work like Eclipse here, but anyway, you understand it. So, and once you got JSON array, it's a matter of iterating. So it works like any array in Java. So you just write a for loop for that, and yeah, for loop for iterate overheat, and you, at the first index you will get this first JSON object. Again, you got the JSON object, then you start iterating the pass the key and get the value. So that way you can find the this thing. Otherwise, we have a rest assured where we have a different serialization and deserialization mechanism. So we can use that as well. So this was the second question. There are few Selenium question as well. So I will write that Selenium question as well for you. Selenium questions. So Selenium questions were like, what are the different navigation command? Different navigation command. Different navigation command. Okay, just a minute. I'll mute for a second. So yeah. So Yeah, so this was the first question with respect to Selenium. How are the different what are the different navigation command? Then second was like uh, difference 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 between driver.quit and driver.close. Okay,
Right.
so
That is very
driver.
common. That is asked
Yeah,
most of the.
yeah, it's very common question been asked. So this was the question for that, and then question were asked like questions were asked question with respect to SQL. Okay, so question was like how comfortable you are with SQL and and then I gave answer, but he didn't ask me any question because I said I have a basic to basic level. Basically, I can write the select query and all this thing, but I haven't written the complex query like joins and everything. So this much I can remember from this first interview. So there were 4 questions, one with Java, you can say, one with this thing, and addition to the like HTTP status code. Okay. So we have two, 401 and 403. So one is with respect to authentication and one is authorization. So 401 is authentication and authentication, and one is with authorization.
Authorization. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. So authentication and authorization. Okay. So basically, what is the difference between authentication and authorization? So we can explain that as well. So I remember these many questions. So like basically all the status code we should know properly. Then second one which was for Barclays. Okay. So for Barclays, questions were asked is like uh, explain explain any end-to-end scenario. Okay. Scenario. Okay. With negative test cases. Negative test cases. Okay. This was the question. Then question was where so this was a kind of a functional, you can say. This was the first question. You can see the functional aspects they were checking. Functional aspect. Yeah. So this was the functional aspect they were asking, and anything I can remember from the functional things were, yeah. So how you do the estimate for the entire sprint. So
Entire sprint.
yeah, how do the planning for the entire sprint? How do they estimate? How do you the divide and how you track the Jira and all these things? Then questions were then they asked for questions were from the SQL. So first question was the how you will get last 10 records from table. Okay. So this was the one SQL question they asked. The second SQL question was that let's say you have employee table and now you employee table, and this table has an two things, employee ID and employee name. Right. Okay. Now employee ID is something which get auto incremented. Okay. Auto increment. Okay. Auto increment. So question was like how you will find the most recently joined employee, because they don't anything date or anything to track who joined on hot date. So by employee ID, so someone joined today, so his employee ID will be 1. Someone joined tomorrow, his employee ID will be 2. After let's say after third day, third person joined. So now if question been asked who joined last, so you have to give this detail. Okay. So that was the question. So you can think on the logic of that. So this is the second question with respect to them. Then a question on Linux were asked. Okay. So question on Linux were asked that how you will how will find the process how you will find the process in Linux Linux box basically. Linux which is taking more space or memory, you can say. Okay.
Okay. So Linux
Yeah.
based questions were also asked.
Yes, Linux based question they asked a lot. So this was the first question. Then how you will find CPU utilization, means how much CPU been currently under uses, CPU utilization, right? Then question were asked like uh, like have you used any editor? So I talked about VI editor. So question were asked one on VI editor. So suppose you have opened VI editor. So what is the command? Uh, you have opened VI editor. What is the command to search? Uh, what is the command to search the any text? So let us say you have log file, okay, and how you going to search in this? So basically there are some shortcut command, just like if you want to close the VI there, you can use colon W can expand, so this way you can close. So there are many commands. I was not knowing the shortcut, so this was the one thing when on the Linux command. This was the Linux command they have asked me. Then yeah, I think Linux they asked me these questions. Now coming back to the Java programming, you able to hear me, right? Hello, hello.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. I thought we lost. Okay,
Yeah.
so Java
No,
programming.
I'm able to see. I'm able to hear as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Java programming questions. Okay.
Yeah. So merge to array. Okay. So I wrote the custom logic. Okay, but he was asking me for a ready-made method. Okay.
Okay.
So generally we don't know the ready-made method if when we have the logic in mind. So that is ready-made method. Merge. I think I saw in one of your interview question you have covered this merging the array. Okay.
Right.
Then merge to array. Then he was asking how you will check the if you have to check let us say there is a one string called as uh, uh,
Okay. In Spring you can take test or testing, something like that. Yeah. Today
yeah,
you can take.
testing is not easy. Okay. So if you have to check that this string contains the word called as easy, so how you will check that? So basically you can just use the contains method whether it contains the or not. So
Yes.
this was the second question he asked me. Then again I got the same question here. Find the second highest find the second highest in array. Okay. Another question was find second highest in array. I think this is the common question they're asking. Yeah, and from Java, and some Selenium questions were asked was very basic, like how you will ensure page is loaded correctly. Okay. So this was the question: how you will ensure page was loaded correctly or not. Then again the same question with respect to some navigation commands were asked. Then difference between driver.quit and driver.close, same question.
Okay.
Then anything I can remember from the Selenium. Mm, yeah, Selenium he didn't ask much. So basically for the first part was only lengthy. This functional part. Okay. Extend end-to-end scenario and how you'll estimate and this SQL query and the next question. So Java programming, these were the questions. Okay. So now coming back to third company, his company name is Fynd.
Fynd is the name of the company.
Yeah, Fynd. Yeah, it's the name of the company.
It's
So
an
question.
e-commerce based company site they are having, e-commerce based domain.
Yeah, it is a e-commerce company which is actually acquired by Reliance. Okay.
No issues. Yeah. So let's discuss the questions. Yeah.
The first question was you are given number, int number equal to 1 2 3, reverse the number. Okay, reverse the number, reverse the number and check whether it is a palindrome or not, and check for palindrome.
Palindrome
Okay?
number. Yes.
Yeah, so number, so what you can do, I'll just write a quickly logic for that. So if you get a number for palindromes, let us say you get an int number equal to number equal to 1 2 3, so you have to check the palindrome. So simple, you can write, first of all you store this number in a time, reason because you're going to reduce this number to 0, the original number. Okay, so you have a backup for this and write the simple save file num is not equal to 0. Just say, take the logic is that you have to take 3 2 1 and you have to go in the reverse direction and make a new number. So here also you can take a new number called as a int reverse the number. So you can assign it to 0 and then take reminder. Okay, so how you will get the reminder? Int reminder is equal to num mod 10. So that way you got the reminder. Now you have to write the reverse logic. So reverse will be equal to reverse into 10 plus reminder, and then again you reduce the number by num is equal to num by 10. So that way your number is getting reduced and you get reverse number. Once you get the reverse number, you just say if reverse number is equal to 10. Why 10? Because now your num is has become 0. You don't have num for compare.
Yes.
Say, yeah. So you can just say sys out. Sys out. You can say number is palindrome. If it is equal, else you say no, right? So I'm just writing in a very short way.
Yes, no issues, no issue.
Yeah. So you just say number is not palindrome. Okay. So if you take the example of palindrome number, for example 1 to 1, so this will be a palindrome number. So it will print that way, I think. So this is also simple logic. Then so questions were asked. Let us say you have a string s is equal to hello. Now if I print, so if I say sys out yes dot concat world, so what will be the output? So output will remain same because string is mutable class, it won't concat, so it won't be hello word, it will be only hello. So he was asking the question, how we can make string immutable. Okay, it's mutable, right? So how can we make it immutable? So this was the question. Then the question was collection, throws and throw keyword. Okay, where we use. So throws we use in method signature. And throw we use for throwing a custom exception. So you can do the some example. So basically we have two type of exception in Java. One is checked exception and one is another exception, unchecked exception. So checked exception are compile time exception and unchecked exception are runtime exception. So to handle checked exception, we use the throws in the method signature. So this is then questions was asked. Then collection hierarchy. Okay, collection basically hierarchy, how the collections all the classes, like who is the interface, or who is the class, who is inheriting who. So basically we should know about like linked list, hash map, list, set, all these things. A super class of all the collection which is iterable, something like that. So collection, he asked me the question. Then this way from the number, then, and again he was asking how much you will rate in SQL. So again, this was the last question he asked me. So I just give theoretical answer like I have experience, but I can write the complex queries but I think SQL was their requirement. So how much you will be rate in SQL? So apart from that, I think I don't remember any question. Yeah. So these many questions were asked. This is just for the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Wonderful. Any other question you remember or you would like to share?
Yeah. Thank you. This is Git. Okay. So how you will uh, resolve the merge conflict? This is a very famous question if they have to ask a conflict. Then the second question was difference between how to revert the commit. Okay, how to revert the commit. And this question I had first time. What is Git cherry pick? Okay, this was the question I was not doing. What is a Git cherry pick? Okay, so these were the question on this thing. Yeah, sorry, I remember now. Linux. He asked how you have a file is, let us say, abc.txt,
Right.
abc.txt.
Mm-hmm.
Get the word count, word count uh, from file from file with word hello. Let us say this file has a word hello. So how many hello words in this file? So I will get the word count. So there is a command called as a word count. Okay. I would write some syntax of that. This was a Linux question. Word count from I think Linux. He asked me regarding this thing only. How you will get the word count and Linux. Anything else in Linux? I think Linux, he asked me about this only. I will get that.
Linux you have covered, Git you have covered, automation testing, Selenium you have covered. I think you
Yeah,
have
SQL,
covered
I
all.
told SQL. Then, yeah, he asked how you created your Docker image. So I said, yes, I have created my Docker image. A Docker image. We created, create Docker image. Then experience, any experience on AWS, hands-on experience, cloud. This was the with respect to AWS, then Jenkins. He
And
didn't went in deep of Jenkins, just asked whether you know or not. But people touch base everything like AWS, Jenkins, Docker, Git. Then Maven was the one, but I don't remember he did ask me question or not. But yeah, Maven also came in the picture in the discussion.
right, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it possible for you to save this document and share it in an email as per your convenient time? Whenever you get some time, you can share.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll share this document. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll share this document. Yeah.
I'm stopping your screen sharing. Right. So I think you have almost covered all the questions.
Yeah, I've heard all the questions. Yeah.
Okay then. Thank you so much, Suryakant. It was nice talking to you, and
Yeah.
all the best for your career.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.